Hello, you reached Manesh Patel from the EII Capital Group. Today is January 15, 2012. This is our weekly Ichimoku analysis for the global markets where we cover everything from the US to Europe to Asia and so forth. Before we begin, this is our normal disclaimer. This is for education use only. All charts that you can see are from Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade, TradeStation, or freestockcharts.com or TC2000 from Warden Brothers. Here are my contact details here at mpatel@eiicapital.com. You could access our website here at ichimokutrade.com for free videos, Facebook, Twitter, our Ichimoku scanners, and so forth. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go something unusual today. We're going to go and look at our email. This looks at our heat map. And what this does, it gives us 2 time frame buy and sell opportunities. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to look here. Each row in here gives you a 2 time frame opportunity. Okay, we give you the trading time frame, but we don't show you the higher time frame. But these are each opportunities that give you 2 time frames. So if you look at Hong Kong, this is a buy opportunity since it's in a bullish column for 120-minute time frame and also a higher time frame. Russia is the same scenario. If you find it in 2 rows, then it possibly can give you a 3 time frame or a 4 time frame buy or sell. Okay, and if you look here, there's not many opportunities here as far as 2 time frames at all. We do have 4 time frames. You do have a lot in the 2 time frame scenario. So you got Hong Kong, Russia, and we've mainly been looking at daily, weekly. And if you look, the only one that's in the bearish side is the Australia. So we'll look at that when we come around to that. And then we'll also look at sectors in the US side on the US in just a minute on the potential sectors that are moving forward and the Dow 30 once we get into the US side. But let's go through, and first let's go focus on all the different countries as we normally do, and then move forward from there. Okay, so let's get rid of this drawing tool. How do you get rid of this drawing tool? There we go. Okay, so let's go here. Frankfurt, let's go to Frankfurt here. Let's zoom in. And if you look at it, it's at a resistance level right now. Nothing really going on at all. So it's kind of entered a consolidation pattern, but it is a resistance level, but the sentiment is still bearish because it's below the cloud. Paris, same scenario. It's not at a resistance level now because the resistance level is here at 34.23. It's got to get to that level to get to that point. It is bearish because its sentiment's below, but if you look at Frankfurt, it's still a lot better than the Paris market, believe it or not. So Frankfurt is still leading ahead of Paris for Paris trading. London, on the other hand, is in the cloud. It's at the top of its range too, close to its resistance level right there at 57.10, but really not doing anything at all. Hasn't pushed out or done anything at all moving forward. So that's that. Let's cover Israel. Israel is just sitting there consolidating, really doing nothing here. It's trying to push up and try to get back this resistance level here at 47.15 for the ETF, but really hasn't made a move there at all. If you look at over here, we had Israel in a 2 time frame scenario is on the 30-minute setup right now, so it's kind of contradicting here. So that's kind of why you're in a consolidation pattern right now. You kind of little push went up, but then lower time frames are starting to push down again because you got 2 time frame sell scenario for Israel that's moving forward. Let's go and look at Stockholm. Stockholm's over here. And if you look at Stockholm here, nothing really going on at a resistance level right now. If it could sit there and go there, it's still going to run into the cloud, so the sentiment's still not going to change. So this thing is still consolidating as we're moving forward. Let's go look at Turkey. Turkey is at the bottom as a support, bounced off there, but still doesn't mean it's not going to break it at all. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Turkey. You can see the next resistance support level you have is 37.72, and resistance level is going to be right here at 48.45 moving forward. Russia, if you look at Russia, a little upward movement for the last couple of weeks, really doing nothing now, just consolidating, so nothing really going on there either. Notice a lot of these markets just consolidate, no trends at all. Okay, so let's go over to Asia. If you look at Asia, Shanghai moved up a little last week, still have not gotten to resistance level here. Now let's just say 23.32. It's got to break that level to sit there and move forward and try to kill this bearish trend, but it is still in the bearish trend. That could be a minor pullback level, but we got to wait and see. But this is trending to the downside, but it is in the pullback level right now. Hong Kong consolidating, really nothing going on, so nothing to talk about there. Tokyo market just consolidating, nothing really going on there. Bombay market is pushing up. It's at a minor pullback level right now, which is a minor resistance level there. Major resistance level is going to be around 17,000 moving forward. But this doesn't mean the trend's over. It's still downward trend, but it's at a minor pullback level right now. Sydney consolidating, really nothing going on right now as far as Sydney is concerned. Let's come over to the America side. Start with Canada. Canada right now is just kind of flirting around, doing nothing. It's at its major resistance levels at the top of the range, but really doing nothing right now. Mexico, it's having its chance to break out, but it's not breaking out of this resistance level here at 37,663. If it does, then this could start a trend, but still has yet to make that move. If you look at Sao Paulo in Brazil, it's at the top of its resistance value, right at 60,000, and really nothing going on there at all. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens, but it's consolidating and right at the top of the range. Colombia, really doing nothing. It's just consolidating. Nothing really going on there at all. Sorry, we missed Korea. Korea is not doing anything at all either. Okay, so let's come over to the U.S. side. Remember, daily time frame here basically represents this left chart represents the daily time frame, right chart represents the weekly time frame. So let's go look at the Dow futures and see what's happening. And if you look at the Dow futures, they're still in a bullish trend going upward, upward, upwards. And if you zoom in on the weekly time frame, it's broken out of the cloud. It's now two bars now are being basically bullish. So we now bullish sentiment is bullish on a weekly time frame for the Dow sentiment. But you got all these resistance levels. It's got to sit there and break and get it to 13,000. So question is, can it get to 13,000 soon? Seasonal patterns say it can, so it's going to be interesting to see. But slowly it's trickling up. Friday was an interesting day, how it went down drastically and then closed back close to break even. So it's going to be interesting, and it is earnings week this week moving forward. Now you have the ES, which is weaker than the Dow, if I could ever type. And if you look at the ES, it still hasn't broken out of the cloud at all. The top of the cloud is basically 1306, so it's basically neutral, consolidating until then. And if you look at the daily time frame, really it's just flirting around over here. It really hasn't pushed forward and broken this completely. So the S&P 500 is weak compared to the Dow. So the Dow stocks are pretty much where a lot of people are moving to for safety factors, considering everything that's been going on in Europe. NASDAQ, it is out of the cloud too for 2 bars, so it is sentiment bullish. And really, it's got to get this level here where it could break 24.24. If it does, it's going to start a trend to the top side. Just like the Dow, it's basically been moving up, slowly breaking resistance levels and getting to the top of the range there. So NASDAQ is stronger than the S&P 500. So basically, Dow 30 and technology is where people are being basically shifting their money right now instead of basically the S&P. And then lastly, let's go look at the Russell. And Russell is in the cloud, way into the cloud, so nothing really going on. It's at the top of its resistance level right now, and it's pretty much bounced off that Friday. It's going to be interesting to see what goes on there. So now let's go back and look at the sectors. And if you look here, this gives you 2 time frame buy and sell scenarios for sectors. And if you look, we have a 4 time frame opportunity here on the sectors, and you can see that software and computer services is now is bullish, and it's actually a 3 time frame opportunity moving forward. So that's a sector that looks like it's trying to break out, but has not done that yet. But definitely look at the software and computer services side, and you could probably find some stocks there, maybe breaking out there to the bullish side if the market keeps on breaking higher. The Dow 30. These are all your 2 time frame opportunities there. You can see there's nothing on the daily at all. Everything is pretty much being on the lower time frames. Closest you have to higher time frames, like gonna be McDonald's and Verizon. And let's just quickly look at those. And if you look at McDonald's, MCD on the weekly, and remember that was lower time frame, you could see that they're trending already on both time frames. So lower time frames, it's kind of trending there, but nothing really on the daily and weekly. And Verizon, you could see on the weekly time frame, it's still trending there, but it's gone for a pullback here. It really needs to break above this level of 39.42. If it does, it could sit there and start a trend on the daily, which would retest the high. So definitely keep an eye on Verizon moving forward, and you got earnings coming up too. That's it for this week. I have a